That concludes the presentation of the award ceremony. May I respectfully request the Commandant, Nigerian Defense Academy, to please invite the reviewing officer back to his seat. The Commandant, sir. That smart table drill was carried out by Corporal Hassan Saidu, and last Corporal Bawa Heaven, of Nigerian Defense Academy Drill Wing. Next is the presentation of souvenirs. Before inviting the reviewing officer for his address, may I respectfully request the Commandant, Nigerian Defense Academy, to please present souvenirs to His Excellency, the reviewing officer, the Commandant, sir.
Take over there. Navy. Pull out, please. Navy, pull out. Navy, come now. Navy.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, the reviewing officer, sir. Our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the honor and privilege of listening to the address of the reviewing officer, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. May I respectfully request the Commandant, Nigerian Defense Academy, to please invite the reviewing officer to the saluting dais. The Commandant, sir.
The President of the Senate, Your Excellency the Governor of Kaduna State, members of the National Assembly, Honorable Ministers, Minister of Defense, and the other members of the Federal Executive Council, Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, Chief of Defense Staff, Intelligence, Commandant Nigerian Defense Academy, senior government officials, senior officers serving and retired, graduating cadets, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am most delighted to witness yet another passing out parade of Nigerian Defense Academy. This time in honor of the cadets of the 67th Regular Corps and Short Service Corps 46 Army. I note that despite the challenges associated with coronavirus pandemic, the Academy has remained focused and committed to its core mandate of training officer cadets. I therefore commend the Nigerian Defense Academy Council for its steadfast performance. The Nigerian Defense Academy has since its establishment in 1964 continued to train young Nigerians for the armed forces to discharge their role of protecting the territorial integrity of the nation. I have been made to understand that the Academy, in furtherance to enriching its training curriculum, recently took cadets on a tour of frontline communities in the Northeast Theater of Operations. The tour was to keep the cadets informed of the challenges of real battle scenario and to boost their combat readiness. As a retired general, I can say with all sense of responsibility that I am encouraged by the excellent work invested in the training of these officer cadets for service to this great nation and humanity in general. I commend the commandant, officers and men, and the academic staff of the Nigerian Defense Academy. As you may be aware, this has been a challenging year for all nations in the world. Since February, when Nigeria recorded her index case of coronavirus, this administration has proactively responded to the challenges associated with coronavirus pandemic by helping to prevent further spread and taking necessary appropriate measures. In addition, government has taken positive palliative measures to cushion the adverse impact of pandemic through people-oriented policies. Excuse me. We remain focused in the fight against insurgency, armed banditry, and other forms of criminality across the nation. We remain committed to ending the security challenges bedeviling the country. I am confident that the training received by passing out cadets has adequately equipped them to face any challenges in their line of duty. The broad context to which these prospective officers will be deployed is complex, fluid, and dynamic. Thus, you will have to keep pace with these ever-changing challenges. Let me, at this juncture, restate our administration's will to support the operations of the armed forces in the defense of the nation. Just recently, I approved the increment of manpower intake in the three services in the order to cater for the deficit of personnel being experienced. Additionally, the federal government will sustain the provision of adequate modern equipment, logistics, and infrastructure needed to support the operations of the armed forces. This, no doubt, will enhance the preparedness of the armed forces to meet contemporary security challenges, especially with innovations in the field of warfare, information, communication, and technology. Gentlemen officer cadets, a successful completion of a rigorous and demanding task of this nature undoubtedly infuses you with a sense of self-esteem, efficacy, and accomplishment. Furthermore, it lifts your spirit and leaves you with conviction that with commitment and dedication, you will successfully accomplish future tasks that will come your way as officers of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me now remind the passing out cadets of the need to be committed to the nation by taking your rightful place among your peers in the armed forces of our country. This is so specifically coming at a time of great need for cohesion, peace, and unity in our country. I must commend the resilience and steadfastness of our personnel in the armed forces for their professionalism and bravery in tackling the menace of terrorism, insurgency, and armed banditry in the northeast, northwest zones, as well as hardest farmers' conflict, kidnapping, piracy, and communal clashes in other parts of our country. All these accomplishments in our national security have been made possible by the untiring efforts of our military and other security agencies. Soon, you will join your senior colleagues in the field, and you will be expected to contribute your part in the defense of your country. With the quality of training you have received, I am convinced that you will discharge your duties professionally and responsibly. I can say without ambiguity that the future holds promise for our national defense and security. The loyalty and patriotism displayed by our service personnel must be sustained and strengthened. To my other compatriots, I want to use this forum to appeal to our sense of patriotism. Despite your obvious differences, we must strive to ensure that our actions and utterances are aimed towards strengthening our democratic framework. We must subsume our personal and sectional interests to the overall national aspirations of unity, economic prosperity, and good governance. Let me also use medium to commend the parents and guardians of these young men and women for taking the bold steps of ensuring that their wards enrolled into the military. I therefore congratulate you and your wards for this choice of career path. Finally, I want to thank the Commandant and the entire staff of the Academy for their relentless efforts in ensuring these young Nigerians received adequate training that will enable them to contribute their quota to nation building. I therefore wish you all safe journey as you return to your respective abodes. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all.
To the Revenue Officer, His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Hep, hep, hep! Hep, hep, hep! Hep, hep, hep! Replace headrest! Replace headrest!
Shall we rise for the national anthem? We may be seated, please.
May I have your permission to file past the colors, personal cadets, and for the rest of the parade to march off, Your Excellency.
The Parade Commander, Academy Senior Under Officer H. Musa has just taken permission from the reviewing officer to proceed with the final part of the parade, which is filing past of colors and the passing out cadets.
Dressing! In open hands! In one dress! Look to the left! On, take your stand! On, to the left! Look to the right! And take your stand! On, to the left! Right half division! Down! Right half division! Right! Eyes! Front! Show that arms! Pass like it! In 1, 2. Up.
May I please inform our distinguished guests to remain seated, as buses have been provided to convey dignitaries and very important persons to the venue for the peeping and commissioning ceremony. May I please remind this distinguished gathering that there shall be a group photograph in front of the Academy headquarters. In compliance with COVID-19 protocols, the following will accompany the reviewing officer for the group photograph: the Senate President, the Speaker House of Representatives, Chairman Senate Committee on Defense, Chairman House Committee on Defense, Honorable Minister of Defense, Honorable Minister of Environment, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Officer, the Service Chiefs and the Inspector General of Police, General Officer Commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army, Flag Officer Commanding Naval Training Command, Air Officer Commanding Air Training Command, and the Commandant Armed Forces Command and Staff College.
May I once again remind this distinguished audience that there will be a group photograph in front of the Academy headquarters. However, in compliance with COVID-19 protocols, only the following are to take part in the group photograph: His Excellency, the Reviewing Officer, Senate President, Speaker, House of Representatives, Chairman, Senate Committee on Defense, Chairman, House Committee on Defense, Honorable Minister of Defense, Honorable Minister of Environment, the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chief and Inspector General of Police, General Officer Commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army, Flag Officer Commanding Naval Training Command, Air Officer Commanding Air Training Command, Air Officer Commanding Ground Training Command, Commandant Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense. While for our guests seated at stand C, D, E, and F, you are please requested to remain seated as buses are being provided to convey you to the Nigerian Defense Academy Auditorium for the paping and commissioning ceremony. May I also inform our esteemed invited guests that after the group photo, there will be science and technology exhibition in front of the headquarters, Nigerian Defense Academy. High points of the group photograph and the science and technology exhibition is the signing of the Nigerian Defense Academy visitors book by the special guest of honor, the reviewing officer for today's combined passing out parade.
Eagle Mabrut. Up! To the right and right! Right! Up!
Please, all guests are to remain seated as the reviewing officer is still on the saluting dice. All guests are to remain seated.
Lisa.